Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Geometry with Mr. Selby. So today we're going to be going over some of the things that students made mistakes on some of the one of the past homework assignments in preparation for the quiz. Okay, so on this, as you guys can see, there are a lot of different measurements. Okay, and I just want to make sure that everybody has measurement down. So when you look at this, you see E to F. All right. The first thing you want to do is you always want to make sure you put inches. No matter what our answer is, we know that the unit is inches. Okay. So we have to put inches in our answer. If we say this is 15 inches, even though it's the wrong answer, it's better to have 15 inches, all right, than to have 15. All right. Always put the units down. I can't say that enough. Next thing you want to look at is this is from E to F. All right. A lot of students would look at this and say it's larger than 1 inch, which is true. It is definitely longer than 1 inch, shorter than 2 inches, so it's got to be between 1 and 2. And they count these up and they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 dashes. So it must be 1.11 inches. That is not correct. Okay. Um, don't do decimals if there are more than 10 dashes in between the numbers. Okay. In fact, you probably shouldn't do decimals at all unless there are 9 dashes in between the numbers, like there are over here with centimeters. And you shouldn't do decimals unless you're pretty much 100% sure what the answer is. Okay. So right now, what you should first do is you need to know it's inches. All right, we figured that out. It's inches. We know it's larger than 1 inch. We know it's less than 2 inches. Okay, so we know it's going to be 1 and something. Okay, we know that there are more than 10 dashes here, and we know that's on the 11th dash. All right, so if you count these up, all these dashes in between the number 1 and number 2, you'll figure out that there's 15 dashes. All right, so with those 15 dashes, that means there's 16 little spaces here. So like this little space right here between 1 inch and the first dash, that is one space. All right. There's 15 of them. So that means there's 15 dashes. That means there's 16 little spaces. All right. 16 spaces that all make up an inch. When you add them all together, all those 16 little spaces, you add them up together, they equal 1 inch. That means that they are 1/16 of an inch. If you have 8/16, all right, that is 1/2 inch. All right. So after you determine that there's 16 dashes, you know that 15 dashes, each one of these spaces is 1/16 of an inch. So if you count these all the way back up to 11, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you realize F is at 11 dashes, that must mean that it is 1 11/16 of an inch. All right. So number 1 would be 1 and then 11-16th of an inch. All right. Let's look at number 2. So for this one, you could use decimals, but again, I would really recommend it not doing that. All right. So this is greater than 1 centimeter. First things first. Let's check it out. We see that it's centimeters. Okay. So we go from 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters. So it's larger than 4 centimeters, smaller than 5 centimeters. So it's going to be in between them. All right. We looked at there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dashes in between the 4 and the 5. Okay. Which means there's 10 spaces. All right. Which means each of these spaces is 1/10 of a centimeter. Okay. So we know that it's past the first one. It looks to be to the second one. All right. So it's 4 2/10. Now for this one, you could write it two different ways. All right. You could write 4 2/10. All right. You could simplify it, make it 4 1/5, or you could use a decimal since it's 4 2/10. Whenever you see a tenth, you could go 4.2. All right. Please do not use the decimal unless you're sure you know how to use it. Okay. No problem writing the fraction here. There's no problem with either of these answers. All right. Everybody that did these pretty much got these correct. All right. So I'm not going to spend any time on these. If you have questions with any of these, please let me know. There is one thing that students did struggle with, and that was on one of the planes. Okay. So if we say that this was our plane right here, all right, there were two lines on this plane. Whoa, that was not what I was expecting to happen. So there were about two lines on our plane that were not touching each other. Okay. But you could tell that they were going to touch each other. Okay. Why? Because lines extend forever. All right. So this line is going to extend forever this way, and this line is going to extend forever this way. They will eventually intersect. Okay. Therefore, the lines are intersecting. I know that is confusing. Lines go on forever in both directions. All right. So it would go this way forever, and it would go this way forever. And this would go this way forever and go this way forever. And yes, there's no way for us to show it on a page because eventually we're going to run out of page. It is purely hypothetical. But yeah. All right. So if you had any questions or concerns with anything Mr. Selby just went over, if you're like, I don't really understand how the whole linear measure thing goes, reach out to me, please, please, please. We have a quiz coming up, so please try your best to really focus on this. All right. And if you have any questions, please reach out. All right. You can find me on Zoom, Schoology, or on email. Thank you and have a great day, guys.